Good morning. Well, good late morning. A bit of a late start today. Woke up, the boat was very chilly, so I put the fire on. Right, I had intended today to move the boat a couple of miles up the canal. However, with what's happening at the weekend, I decided to just potter around the boat. So I'm going to do little jobs. My first one I'm going to do is outside the boat. My solar panels are absolutely filthy, and I've had some ducks visiting. Hopefully I'll be able to get a clip off my security system to show you. They seem to adore it. They were up there, well, maybe a dozen times. So I'm going to try and clean the solar panels, angle them up to the sun, and see what a difference that makes in how much power I get from them. Right, here we are. It is actually really dusty. One thing I didn't check is how much power I'm getting right now before I clean them. Let me just check that. Well, I checked that. I'm getting around about 220 watts at the moment, although cloud's just going over, so that will drop a fraction. I just want to see how much extra I get for cleaning. There are various spots like that one there. That is a deposit from a duck. There's plenty more at the other end that I need to get off. The main one I want to do is to get the dust off. I've got a brush so I can reach the other side, so I don't really want to hang off the boat there. Got myself a silicone brush for the harder deposits and some water. So we'll sprinkle some of that on and let's see how we get on. I have got myself a jet wash, which is in the car at the moment, but I just want to try this, see how we get on. It seems to be working quite nicely. Yep, I like that. Let's go on to the next bit. I'll just work on that bit first. Don't think the ducks will do much damage, but obviously something in the way stops the solar panels working. This is quite a soft bristle brush, so obviously you don't want to damage the panels. And there you go, that's them scrubbed. I'm just going to run some water over the top just to rinse the rest of it off, and then I'm going to tilt them up. There's a bit more cloud coming over now, so I'm probably not going to get a direct comparison for the power that the panels produce. Now that's a problem. It's my rods to lift the panels up are across that side, which means I've got to walk around on that side of the boat to get them. And it's just started raining. So I guess what? I'm going to give that a miss just for the moment, and if the rain stops, I'll come out and do the rods and tilt the panels. Well, I hope you can hear me at least a little bit. I found out I ran out of roasted coffee beans, so I'm just roasting a few for myself, and I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee and explain where I'm up to. Well, it's not long till it's finished. As you can see, they are a different colour. I've gone for a medium roast this time, and I'm doing about 300 grams of roasted coffee beans. And now that is finished, as you can hear. It's turned itself off. And somehow I've got to get all these beans from there into my little pot here. And push that button. And that's all the beans out. Now to grind them and make myself a coffee. Now, it's been a while since I've used my coffee machine and my roaster, because it's quite a heavy power drain, but I've used it this time to see what happened with the solar panels. Remember when I was on the roof, I said it was drawing about 220 watts or so through the panels. Now, what I neglected to realise was that the batteries were full, so it's not going to be drawing a lot of power from the panels. So I put some drain on it with my roaster. I don't know how much that power it needs to run, and my coffee machine. As soon as I put that on, the solar panels went to around about 900 watts and 70 amps of power. So working very well. Very happy with that. Now, make my coffee. Right, it's gone through all its setup things that it needs to do. Try and get my cup in there. Just get it in the right place. I'm going to start with a Doppio Plus. All that basically is double strength coffee, and then I'm going to put some hot foaming milk in there as well. And that's one thing I like about my nice clear glass cups. Not only are they insulated, but you can see the coffee. And now I just need to put it through its cleaning cycle. So it cleans out the milk tube. And what it's doing there is it's ejecting the coffee grinds that the coffee was filtered through and just cleaning out the pipes again. Well, got my coffee now, my nice coffee. So I've been surviving on instant for a while now, and so much better when you have a proper cuppa. That's nice. Nothing better than drinking a nice cup of coffee in my happy place, in my happy spot. It's awesome. I can't wait to live on her full time. Just remembered, I've got a new feature that I'm going to be doing every week on Narrowboat Kate on Red One Afloat, and it is called...
It's time for the Factoid of the Week!
And each week I'm going to be giving you a factoid. It could be absolutely anything, so bear with me. And because it's the first one, I'm going to give you 2 factoids. I'm going to have to read it so that I get it right. Giraffes' tongues are built for reach. A giraffe's tongue can grow up to 20 inches long and is dark purple to protect it from sunburn. 20 inches is maybe that big. Wow. Imagine being licked by that. And factoid number 2, octopuses, or octopi, not sure which is the correct definition, have a decentralized nervous system with 9 brains, and it's got blue blood. 3 of an octopus's brains control its body, while the other 6 control the movement of its arms, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Amazing. Watch out for more factoids next week.
The Factoid of the Week.
And if you have any interesting factoids you'd like to share with me, leave them in the comments below and I may well put them in the next video. Now sadly I've got to report something. My green fingers failed me. Not my fault, it's the weather, honest. Recent hot weather we had where the temperature hit 30 plus, I couldn't get to the boat over that period of about 3 or 4 days, and sadly my mint plant is completely dead. However, I think this is coriander, I can't remember now. It's trying to make a comeback. It's half dead, let's say. And the rest of them seem to have survived somewhat. My jalapeno pepper plant has got a few dead branches on there, but there's lots of green still. That seems to be making a comeback now that I've given it a drink. My potatoes have survived particularly well, as you can see them just here. And my yucca plant at the back there, that's fine as well. So, it got me wondering, when do I harvest my potatoes? So I did a bit of research, as you do. And apparently, when all the leaves die back to brown and the stems start falling over, you give it another couple of weeks, the skins on the potatoes in the ground firm up, and after those 1 to 2 weeks you then carefully dig them out, don't damage the skin, and leave the soil on and store it in a dark, cool place in a like a hessian bag or a brown paper bag so that it can breathe a little bit. So I'm looking forward to that, see how successful I am, and if that works I'll be growing my own potatoes. That's another thing. I'm going to be doing something next week. I'm very interested in hydroponics and growing stuff without soil, and I've got myself now 3 different hydroponic setups. One that I've been using at home. I'm successfully growing some stuff. I've got some nice peppers going well. My tomato and strawberry plants, not so good. Haven't had any flowers even come up with them. And what else did I? Lettuce. Oh god, lettuce. Lettuce was like a triffid. It just blew up, growing so fast I couldn't eat it all. And I only had 3 lettuce planted. So, but they were delicious once I harvested some. So I'm going to be bringing a setup to the boat next time, and I'm going to build it and talk you through what sort of plants I want to grow in there. This is actually a 3D printed hydroponic setup, and you put the lights in and the pump and that sort of thing. So I'm looking forward to that, growing my own food, because I don't want to put it on the roof because I've got other plans for the roof in pots and that sort of thing that you see on other boats. My plans involve having a lot of power. As you can see, I've already got half of it covered in solar panels, which are doing extremely well. As I said, 900 watts being drawn today in full sun. I'm hoping to double that, although that might be a bit difficult because I've got furniture on the roof and that sort of thing, so it might not just physically fit. Let's see what else I can do pottering around. And one of the other little jobs I've got to do, find out how much diesel I've got. I haven't checked it since before I went to Crick and came back here. I've got my trusty stick. Note the red bit on top, that shows me it's only used for diesel. It's got a very similar stick to use for dipping my water tank. Oh, that's much better than I thought. The mark comes up to there, so the quarter tank mark is there. I thought it'd be down there somewhere. Just need to be careful we don't get any diesel drop into the water. Just wipe the stick. Right, put the top back on before I forget. Being careful not to drop it in the water. Enough diesel for now. Got plenty to get me to the next fill up point. Right, I'm just going to brave it now. Walking along the outside of the boat, always keeping one hand on the boat so you don't fall in. I need to take out my taking out the rods, then attach the panel this side. I've got 6 of these rods to take out. I've got 2 so far. But I also have to attach this side of the panel, which is tricky trying to do with one hand. That's that job done. It's all fixed. This side and the rod's removed. So all I've got to do now is make sure I can get back without falling in. It doesn't help I've got my barge pole here. So I needed that when I was on my way to Crick one day. Pulled to one side to let a boat past. Promptly got stuck in the silt. Right, I'm going to go the other side now. Put these rods back on so I can tilt the panels. This is actually quite a straightforward job. Just I've got 6 of them to do. Oh. At least there's less danger this side in falling in. Maybe I'll get better at this when I've done it a few hundred times. Right, back to lifting these up. Why can't they all be that easy? Oh. Well, lesson number 1, I've just dropped something in the canal. Check if it's attached first. I have to get my magnet out soon and see if I can get that out, if it's magnetic. Right, I've got my fishing magnet out. Extremely strong magnet this. I've got zero hope that I'm going to be able to get this out. The bit that I dropped in, so I'm not even sure it's magnetic. No, you might have heard a clunk there. My magnet has just attached itself to my boat. Not a good idea. I think I'm going to give up on this, try and get this magnet off my boat and put it down to experience for the bit that I've just lost. Good morning. It's the next day. I managed to calm down just a little bit after dropping something in the canal, which I'm not going to be able to recover. So I think I'll need a net to get that out, and I haven't got one with me. So the other thing I did was to get my very, very strong magnet stuck to the side of my boat, and I physically couldn't get it off. However, I've had time to think about it, and I've got a couple of ways I'm going to try and retrieve it. Let me show you. And this is where the magnet ended up. You can just see it down there. Might not look like it's stuck fast, but it is. If I try and lift that, it literally lifts the boat, rocks it side to side. So I've got to try and lever that off, and to do that I've got my rope which I'll attach to it so I don't drop that in the water. This thing here came with the magnet, so I'm assuming you try and work that behind it to release it. Failing that, I've got one of my mooring pins which I'm hoping to use to lever off if that doesn't work. Let's try. I'm not going to be able to show you a huge amount of what I'm trying to do because I don't want to risk getting my phone or my camera dropped into the water. So I'm just going to put this hook onto the magnet. It's nice and strong, and that should prevent it from falling in the water. I'm just going to try this first. Not a chance. Okay. Oh, there you go. Brute force and ignorance. I got it back. All right. After getting that off, a bit out of breath now, a bit of red face. Just want to quickly show you that I did manage to put all my panels up yesterday. And the bit that I actually dropped in the water is this little connector here. It's got a wire attached, but that wasn't attached properly, obviously, which is why it fell in the water. So I've managed to find a clip that will hold it just there, nice and safe. So for now, I'm going to wrap things up and say thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next week.